Okay. All right. Now I'm recording. Thank you for watching this on YouTube or wherever you're watching it at. Okay. So I'm going to try to keep this short because we all have things to be doing. So I was listening to a call and she was talking about having a plan and a schedule. So not only are we going to talk about scheduling, but then also talking about having a schedule for your posts. And you really want to have repetition. So this is what it hit me. It was like repetition in that you always doing the same thing every day. You're always posting and there's a rhythm to it. So if at a job, like if you have a normal job you go to, like people have Monday morning 8 a.m. meetings every Monday at 8 a.m. And then people have meetings and then they have this. On Tuesdays they do this and on Wednesdays. So any normal job has a rhythm to it and that there's expectations of on certain days you do certain things. So we are treating this as a job, right? So we need to have repetition and kind of a schedule for what we're going to do in our business. And so two different things we're going to talk about is what to post and how to make a schedule out of that, and then more how to schedule your entire month. So I'm going to, Katrina, and Brandy, I'm going to unmute you in a second, and Emily's, you can stay unmuted and just listen. But we're going to brainstorm a couple ideas, well, lots of ideas if we can, of what the heck to post. Because everyone's like, there are days when you're like, oh my God, it's 5 o'clock and I haven't posted anything. So what we want is to get away from that. So we want to make a list of all the things that fit our niche or whatever we're interested in or that, speaks to us or defines us. And then make a schedule of every Monday, I'm gonna have 3 posts every Monday. Every Monday, these are the 3 things I'm gonna post about. And then every Tuesday, and then every Wednesday. Does that make sense? So that literally there is no guesswork. So you don't have to think. So when you're like, it's 3 o'clock, you know that my second post is going to be about this topic. So that there's no sort of, I'm gonna spend 45 minutes on Pinterest trying to figure out what to post. Because literally, I did that today. I was like, let me see what I can find. And then I was like, Pinterest, and there was nothing, and I didn't know what to post. So I want to spend a few minutes brainstorming ideas of what to post. So how do I unmute? I don't know if I hear manage participants, and then Brandy, I'm going to unmute you in case you want to talk. Brandy, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So what I'm not even going to write down what you guys say because this will help me brainstorm ideas. So for me, I love recipes. Love recipes. It's one of the things I love sharing because I love to see what other people are making and that kind of stuff. So that's something I always want to share. So that's one of the things that's going to go on my list. So what else do you guys like that speaks to you? Brandy and Katrina. Oh, I have to unmute. Oh, you're unmuted. Okay, go. What do you got?
I like fit tips.
Okay.
I want to do more of those.
Fit tips?
Yeah, fitness related tips.
Brandy, what do you got?
Well, as a mom, mine are and working all the time. It's like quick lunches for your kids or, things to do with your kids, like that kind of stuff is what I'm trying to do more of.
Okay. That's good. Well, I was thinking on the way because I don't have kids, but I knew a lot of my coaches do, and I guess you do as well. Brandy has kids. Is there any way, and this could be weird, you could do like a parenting tip, or does that get too like people have really judgy advice? Because I was thinking that could be something like, I don't know, like
I think there's a really fine line there where people will be like, who the heck is this chick telling me what I should do with my kids?
Okay, because I was like, well, what if you had like a cute okay, so if you get really stressed out and you want to kill your kid, and then you're like, I walked away and I went into the bathroom and I breathed. I don't know. I mean, I'm just making something up. Breathed.
Yeah.
And I said this mantra over and over and over again, or I put this mantra on my board, on my mirror, so that when I get I'm just thinking this because I talked to my sister who has kids, and she was like, thought she might, whatever. So that's why I'm saying that. And so that was something what I was thinking, but it just an idea.
Yeah.
I really do. I like an inspiration. That's something I always do in the morning. So every morning with that, one of my posts is going to be some sort of inspirational quote, something like that.
Yeah.
All right. What else? You could always do a Transformation Tuesday post. It's probably good to do that.
I'm gonna have to use other people, and I think I've only done like 3 total transformation posts, 2 of myself and 1 of my challenger ever in the past 8 months. So, because I don't have old photos of myself like to do before and after, really.
Well, but start to think outside the box too, because I've done some where I'm like, a side-by-side photo, there's not much difference. Well, and I tell them what's different on the inside, you know? That
Right. All the variables of transformation. Yes.
Because there's a lot. And I mean, hypothetically speaking, I just thought of this off the top of my head, but I could imagine we could spin some sort of even financial transformation Tuesday, right? Like I bought, or I don't know, paying this bill, or I'm not doing something like that. I don't know.
I can barely cover Shakeology right now, so
but in general, for those people who are watching this, who want ideas. What else? I do also do Thankful Thursday every Thursday. You don't have to do it though.
That's a really good idea though.
I really like it because I'm all about like improving myself. So inspiration, positive quotes that I can share, which makes me more positive, and then more where I can be thankful for what's around me. I mean, and sometimes I try, but I try not to do it every week. Somehow spin it to Beachbody, right? But I try not to do.
I might do like Scripture Saturday or Scripture Sunday or something, because I personally love seeing people's posts about like some sort of scripture passage or something a saint said or something. I like that. Yeah.
That's good. All right. So other things. Okay. So I also do. I dabble in DIY, like making things and that crafting kind of things. So that's something that I more share ideas than I actually do the ideas, but it's still something.
Yeah, and I love that stuff, but I just don't do it often enough to post something like every single week, I feel like, you know?
Well, but you could share a cool idea from Pinterest. Mostly that's where I get my ideas. I'm like, this would be really cool. I needed to do this. And just every week, that would be like a Friday. I don't know. The best you could do is if you could do it like, get a rhythm to it. So the other 2 things I want to mention that here you want to be working into your schedule is at least 1 post about your challenge group, inviting people to the challenge group. You should be doing that once a week. And there you should have a second post that's inviting people to the business. And what I would recommend is making it so Sunday night is your business invite. And then X night is whatever, your challenge group invite. But just get a habit, then that's when you post every time. Workout Wednesday is the other one that I like to do. But then think about, okay, what's your niche, right? So some people like shoes, and I'm like, well, if you like shoes, then I would find cool shoes and be like, I really like this pair, or start showcasing your shoes that you have at home, you know? I don't know. I'm not into really. I mean, I like shoes, but I don't like share shoes. I'm into planner stuff. So, but that is more Instagram related than it is Facebook, because most people are like, I don't really care what you're doing. So that would be like an Instagram kind of specific post that I should try to do it like once a week of like that kind of stuff, just to get a different kind of market. So if you have animals, I would post animals, post by your cat. Dude, if you get a video of your cat in the marshmallow, you should post that on Instagram.
I was trying to get it. I'm going to have to like toss more marshmallows in the carpet.
What else? Books. If you like reading, I would be like a book of the week. Like, and all you have to do is look on Goodreads, I think that's one of the websites I go to that has lots of recommendations for books, and be like, hey, I found this on Goodreads and blah, 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 and it looked really good and I'm excited to read it. Or sharing your personal development book or something like that. What else can we think of to be posting? I'm just trying to generate a list of ideas. What?
Yeah. I'm an art teacher right now, so I mean, I could definitely do at least once a week post about art, something art related, something I'm reading.
So you're gonna have a list. So ideally, you want a list, and so you're gonna fill in. Oh, we should be doing Shakeology at least one post a week, which I'm doing really terrible at, mostly because I'm almost too busy in my routine with Shakeology that I don't take the time to really, So then you want to fill it in. So you're going to say, okay, on Sunday, I'm posting 3 times on Sunday. Sunday morning, it's going to be every Sunday morning, it's going to be this. And just almost what I want is, hey, Ashley. Oh, she's on the floor. Okay. So then, literally, that's kind of going to be your homework. And I don't have a piece of, sorry, I'll bend this piece of paper over and trying to show you what I was thinking of doing. Sunday, I'm going to start Sunday and then Monday and then Tuesday. So then essentially I want it to kind of look like this. So essentially you're going to say, this is Sunday. Here's the 3 topics. So my first post is going to be, for me, it's going to be a quote. Then Sunday I should do meal prep. And then Sunday night I'm going to do the business opportunity call. The Monday morning quote. So I do always quotes first thing in the morning. So that'll be always. And maybe Monday here I'll do a recipe. Monday night I'll do some sort of motivational something. Tuesday then I'm going to do a quote, Transformation Tuesday, something else. So that literally you have it written out and you put it up on something that you look at every day so that you see literally every day all 3 posts are right there in front of you, so you know it's there. And then when you know that it's there and you see it, then in the back of your mind you did something and you're like, oh, would be a perfect post for blah, 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 blah that I'm going to do on Thursday, because Thursdays I do Thankful Thursday. Then I can jot it down, write it down, put it in my phone, and then I'll have that post ready to go. So essentially what we're doing is just brainstorming a list of topics to post about, and then you're going to take that brainstorm list and then make some sort of diagram here so that there is no question about what you're posting. It's repetition, it's there. So every Sunday, morning, noon, and night, that's what your posts are. So that's sort of, I guess, the first part of the call I want to talk about. And then with that, you really want to kind of try to figure out the best times to post as well, because people have different niche markets, I guess, right? So everyone has different kind of times to post. So really my ideal market should be between 8 and 9, but I typically am commuting to work, and so don't want to be posting and driving, and so I have to do it before I go to work, because if I get to work and then I forget and then it's over. So I typically post before I go to work. And then sometimes I'll try to post at lunch, but then like today I didn't get a lunch and then it was just a crazy day. So but you want to know the kind of best time. So maybe it's breakfast. Maybe it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon and 8 or 9 o'clock at night. If you use Instagram will there's a web. I don't know if it's a website. I guess it's a website that will tell you the metrics. So like when your most engaging posts, what time they were posted, what they were about. So if you had the most comments, if you had like 20 comments on this photo, it's going to say, hey, this is your most liked, most commented post. It did the best and it was posted at this time. And so it gives you all kind of metrics. Instagram does that. Facebook personal page does not. I mean, you might be able to get that on your like page. Okay, so then the second thing we're going to talk about is the kind of scheduling for the month. So again, this call was saying you want the repetition for your posts. So that's kind of what we talked about. But you also want repetition in the almost bigger scheme of your month. And so every month you should be offering a free something to them. So a free clean eating, although it's done a lot, a free veggie, a free kick the habit, a free blah, 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 right? You want them to join your group and learn about you and get comfortable working with you so they want to keep working with you. So there are 335,000 Beachbody coaches, right? So these people can work with pretty much a lot of people. So it's not the products that people really want. They need to be connected and invested with you. So you want to give them, with your free stuff, you want to start building a relationship essentially with them so that they like you enough that then you're like, hey, you did really well. If you want to keep going, I'd love to have you. And they're like, yeah, I mean, I loved the environment of the challenge group. I loved what you were saying. I loved your personality. I want to keep working with you. And then you transition them then to your second kind of thing you need to be doing every month is your paid challenge group. So that's just whatever, a 21-day fix. I've been starting to do 21-day long challenge groups with any fitness program. It seems to work better. So I call it 21 days, even though not everyone's doing the 21-day fix. But then at 3 weeks, it seems to be a nice amount of time. And then you want to be scheduling a business opportunity thing. So I know in our team, big team, Ashley has the sneak peeks that she's doing. And they're pretty regular because she's got that calendar. But every month we should be working and doing and utilizing that. So what I was going to do, which you guys, we don't have to do right now, I guess we can, but is kind of get a layout for when you should be doing these things. So I was going to print off a calendar, but I did really bad. So I'm just going to pull up my phone that has my calendar on it, and we're going to look at November because at this point, so here's the first week. Oh, perfect. The first Monday of November is on the 2nd. So what are we going to do on the 2nd? I would recommend doing some sort of free. That would be our lead-in free group thing. So whatever. So it's some sort of challenge group that it's pretty easy, pretty straightforward, just to get people involved. I was recommending not doing a clean eating one just because a lot of people do it and they're like, and they don't really participate. So try to find another sort of topic that people are interested in that can be engaging. Because I guess that's what's missing, I feel like, from my clean eating group challenge groups is the engagement of people. They don't want to, they're like, oh, here's your meal plan. Thank you. Goodbye. So I recommend doing like that the first week of the month. And then maybe potentially like the 16th, so give it 2 weeks to then have your paid challenge group start. And then maybe the week after, so like the week of the 23rd, you do some sort of business thing, whether it's a sneak peek, business opportunity, webinar, call thing, something like that. So every month you need to be doing those three things because you want to be getting people in, transitioning them in your challenge group, and then inviting them to the business in that kind of order. So you really always want to have your free thing first to then build into your paid challenge group to then build into the business. So when you're doing these things, the free group should really give the people a taste of your company and you really, what you have to offer and what your company has to offer. So if you can share with them the culture, I guess, of your group, then that would really kind of be the best thing, I guess. So if you're doing a clean eating one, or you're doing a little mini fitness one, some sort of, I guess that's kind of what I would recommend. But you really want to get it involved. So I really recommend, I know for Emily and Brandy, for you guys to partner up with other people, because I found that I don't really have that many people interested at the same time. So it's having a group with just 2 people isn't great. And it's okay, you should do it, but if you want engagement, it's easier if you have more people. So maybe have a buddy up with other people, so that if there's like 5 of you and each of you gets 2 people, then there's 15 total with the coaches. I had to do the math really fast. So then there's more people. So for the paid challenge group, you really want them to invest in themselves. So most people, they're not going to follow through if they don't invest money in it, right? If they're like, I'm going to, like people who do Beachbody On Demand, I would assume, if this statement's true, that those people who do the free trial, they like do a workout here, they do a workout there, but they don't really utilize it or get the most out of it. As if, unless they spent $140 and they got the challenge back, they're like, okay, I spent $140, like, I better, do everything I can to get my money out of this and use it every day for 30 days I guess it would be 90 days. So that's sort of the idea, is you want people to invest in themselves, because then they're more likely to be engaged and actually use whatever product they have. This is kind of what I mentioned before, is that you make the product, you make it special. You are special. The product is the 21-day fix. They can get it on an infomercial. Pretty sure they can get it on eBay. They can get it on Amazon. They can get it wherever. A friend. What makes it special is you, your challenge group, your environment, your engagement, your help, your guidance. You are kind of what you're kind of, I guess, selling, if that makes sense. So make sure you're focusing on that in leading up to your challenge groups, both your free one and your paid one, and make sure you're supporting them. I've been trying really hard to kind of follow up, because you get customers ebb and flow, right? You get people that are really engaged, and then they don't want to do your next challenge group, and then 2 months later that you don't talk to them anymore. So I try to follow back up and be like, hey, how are you doing? Are you interested? Where are you at? Do you want to be in my next group? Like, I always try to get my challengers from previous months into my current groups, just to keep engagement and so that I keep working with them. And then for your business, again, this actually spoke to me almost the most, because I haven't really done too many of my own business opportunity things. And I feel like this is one of the areas where I want to kind of focus my time and try to work on this. But it says this coach I talked about is, don't put the emphasis on the company. They don't really, people who are interested really don't care about me or this top coach who they don't know talking about stuff that they're like, I don't understand, right? They just want to see what it's like and go, can I imagine myself doing what they're doing, right? So they want to know if they can fit in your shoes, and if they're okay, can I do what she's doing? My life is completely different, right? If I have someone who's got 3 kids, they're like, okay, I got 3 kids, I got a job, I got this, I got that. How can I do this in my own life? How can I take what she's doing and seeing if it's a fit, right? That's what they're doing, essentially. They want to know if they can connect with it, connect with whatever it is that you're offering, the business. Can they connect with coaching? Is there some emotional level that they really want to be a coach? Do they have time? I guess time is always something people are worried about. So you really want to give them the information to tell them, can they do this? Yes, they can. How much time? And that, yes, they can fit it in with their schedule. Even if, Ashley used to work crazy, ridiculous hours. I do too. Lots of people work and do this. It takes people to do this, and the right people, and you got to plan pretty well. But you want to show that they can do this, right? They can do this, because a lot of people have a lot of things going on. And make sure to tell them how you can connect with other people. That's the biggest thing I try to talk about, is how much friendship you get from this. Because I don't know about you guys, but I've met a lot of cool people doing this, and this is honestly one of the better benefits, I think, of coaching. So then you want to be doing this every month, like clockwork. Like, they should know, people should know, the first week of every month, or whatever you decide, that's your free whatever group you're running. And every month, it's sort of flexible though, you need to be running your paid challenge group. And every month, on the last week of the month, you should be doing some sort of business opportunity or something. Like, it should run like clockwork. So you really want to promote for your free group the week before. If they don't need a lot, you can do it a couple days out, because you're not sending them anything. But if they're going to purchase stuff, you need to make sure you back off and work backwards toward their start date, so that there's not like people starting the Monday and then a week later because they didn't get their stuff right away. So just keep that in mind when you're kind of scheduling out when you want these events to happen. And then definitely with the biz, consistency is key. So it needs to be regular. Whatever, if you're going to have a sneak peek, open house, webinar, whatever you're going to do, you want to make sure you're consistent. So leading off consistency, I posted this for a couple of my coaches, but not all of you are on my team page, that she also shared is that you will beat most everyone towards success with just plain consistency. So most people will join and they're like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be a coach. I'm going to sell Mary Kay. I'm going to thrive with some patch thing, or I'm going to do some Tupperware Jamberry thing. And then they're like, okay, I'm going to do it. And then they don't, because life gets busy and it gets hard. And they're like, like they start posting and they start sharing, and then they get too busy. And then one weekend they go out of town, and then they come back and they're like, I'm going to get back. And then they don't. And then they're like, oh, I'm going to do it the next day. And then they don't. And then it just becomes easier to not do it. And then they're out. So they say they're in and they're in, but then they don't actually keep staying in, if that makes sense. So when you're invested, it means you're consistent, right? You have to, I mean, Ashley has said many times that if you're not talking and inviting, you're not, I guess, planting the seeds for next month. Everything, it's like 2 months behind here. So you have to keep inviting. So if you take a month off, it's going to be really hard to get back, because you have to work back off and then build and push even harder to get back where you were. So you really need to be consistent and religious in what you're doing. So that's why I'm saying make this schedule of literally these are the topics and put it up so that you see it every day, so that you know exactly, and it's easy. This is what we want it to be: consistent and easy. So spending 45 minutes on Pinterest thinking of something to do is not easy. It's a time waste, and you're like, you could be doing 20 other things, if that makes sense. So this is sort of my recommendation. I guess that's kind of all I have for the call. And I kept it at 31 minutes, and I started late, so that was kind of impressive. So, stop.